Morning G. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a calendar for a club and organization. What we want to do first is go up to Components and go to J Events, and from there we want to go to Manage Categories. Next we want to go ahead and actually go to New up on the upper right hand corner, and then we want to enter in Student Nurses Association, because that's the club that we're creating. We want to give it a parent, and the parent is clubs. If you were creating a new athletic team, you'd put the parent as athletics. If it was a new student government organization, you'd put student government, but for this one we'll select clubs. And that's very important, and I'll show you why in a little bit here. For color, we do this green right here. If you did athletics, it would be this red right here, and for student government it's going to be black here. So we'll go ahead and select the green one, and you want to, on published, go ahead and click yes, and then you're done. Now the next part of this is that you can see Student Nurses Association went to the top. Now it's important that we actually put these in order, so it looks like the last one here is 50, so we're going to make this one 51. So let's add a 5 there, and then what we want to do is see this little disk thing right here. You actually want to go ahead and click on that, and that will save it, so that way the order shows up as Student Nurses Association. Now the question is, what happens as you add clubs and you are not in alphabetical order? You can go ahead and change these, like Collegiate DECA here is not in alphabetical order, so we want to put it ahead of Community Development Disabilities. So all we need to do is go ahead and change the number to meet up with the position that you want it in. So 26 is the position we wanted after that, so we'd go 26. And then you go ahead and hit back on disk. And if we did this right, which I'd like to think that we did, once it loads, we can see that Collegiate DECA is actually in the right spot, comes up after the clinical lab tech. So, and you can see there's two number 26s, but that's okay, it's not a big deal. You just want to make sure if you're going to put these in alphabetical order that you're doing that. So if you get a new athletic team, you go ahead and put it in that order, so you might have 2 or 3 number 3s or 2 or 3 number 4s, and that's not a problem. It's just important, and I'll show you why in a little bit here. So we're done with that, so we can go up to menus, and we're going to go to clubs and organizations, and we want to select new. It'll take just a second here. And then from there we want to go ahead and click on J Events. And we want to create a monthly calendar. And then we can put in the title, events. We'll put club events. And now this gets back to the parent, so you want to make sure that you're putting this with a parent that we need to be. So we'll scroll all the way down, and you'll see Student Nurses Association right here. We'll click on that, and so that way that link will fall in underneath the Student Nurses Association. It'll be the last one. Parameters, then you go to select category, and as you can see, all of these are in the same order that the categories were in. So we want to go to Student Nurses Association, and then go ahead and click on save. If we go back to the website and we go to Student Nurses Association and refresh, club events are right there. We click on the link, and you can see the calendar pops up. Now there's still work to be done though, because as you can see there's not a menu here on the left side. So we need to go to the module manager, and then go to filter and just enter in clubs menu. Scroll all the way down, and as you can see all this stuff is in gray. That means the club menu shows up on all those pages. Hold your control key and then click on club events, and see it turns to blue, and then click on save. So now if we go back and refresh this page, you can see all the menu is there. Now the reason why you did the categories is because anything that's entered in on the calendar events will show up on the main calendar of events, but then it will also show up on the upcoming club events, and on the home page it'll show up on the upcoming events too as they're upcoming. So if I went and logged in and created an event, so submit event, and I put an event for tomorrow, see how the categories all populate nice and neat. If I go all the way down to Student Nurses Association, put an event in for tomorrow, and then click on save, what happens then is basically if I go to the home page, you can see it come up right here on the testing events. If you go to the clubs page, it shows up right there on the upcoming clubs. And then if I scroll all the way down to Student Nurses Association, you'll see it on the club events, and only their event will show up on their calendar. But if I do go to the calendar events, the main calendar of events, you can see it shows up there too. So that's kind of important. Now one of the things is we want to go ahead and create a module so that we end up, if we go to Student Nurses Association, an upcoming event module will be right there on the right side. So we'll go back over to administration and we'll go module manager again, and then we'll go new. And what we want to look for is J events, upcoming events, which is located latest J events. Click on next, and we're gonna select, we're gonna put we'll just put upcoming events nurses, and that's just so you can find it a little bit easier. Scroll all the way down, we want to go select menu items from list, scroll all the way down to Student Nurses Association and select that. If you wanted to show it on multiple pages, you'd go hold your control key and show it on these multiple pages too, and then it would show up on all those. For us though, all we want to do is make it show up on their home page. So then we go back to select category, scroll all the way down, Student Nurses Association, and make sure it's enabled and the save title. And then you want to put the position to the right side as well. Sorry, that should have been done earlier. We'll put it on the right side, and that's so it shows up over here in this area. Go ahead and hit save, and then you go back to the site and refresh the page, and you can see upcoming events. The nursing event is right there, and that won't show up on, like, for instance, Phi Theta Kappa. It doesn't show up on theirs, but it will show up on the Student Nurses Association upcoming events. So that's basically how you create all the calendars and events for new clubs, organizations, athletics, and student government. Hope that helps.